Hey, what's up, y'all? This is your boy, Michael Sheppard. I'm no longer the EIS no more. I'm the medical case manager. We're back again with Black Lives Matter. We are here to answer questions, and also we are here to do the Black Lives Coalition, speak about the Black Lives Coalition, the Black History Month, as well as, and don't forget, we have to talk about Black HIV and AIDS awareness. That's what we do, that's what we care for, and that's what we want to get. We want to get you back to you. I am the medical case manager here. We assist with, our services assist with clients that are HIV positive, and what we do is we help with sheltering, housing, food assistance, and as well as intakes and assessments. All right, Miss Chel'sea, well, welcome.
Thank you.
Look, this face is beat to the gods I live, and this hair is just moving, honey.
Thank you.
Yes. All right. Well, introduce yourself. Who are you, Miss Ma'am?
All right. Well, hey, y'all. I'm Chel'sea. I'm a licensed clinical social worker, and I'm the clinical supervisor here at Southwest Center. I oversee independent counselors as well as licensed counselors that are working towards their independent license, and I also have my own caseload. So if you're interested in therapy services, I'm your girl.
Great, great. We absolutely love and adore what you do here at Southwest Center, honey. Thank you. Welcome. All right, so first question. Do we need to take accountability in your role, and how do we own our piece?
Absolutely. So as a Black person, I can only speak from the Black woman perspective, but as a Black woman, it's time for us to acknowledge that we cannot carry the load alone. So whether that is we're stressed out because of school, work, kids, other responsibilities, it's time for us to say, okay, we need help. So that's exactly why we're here at Southwest Center. That's exactly what I do in my role as a clinician, is to help you process ways to move through your stress, move through your trauma, move through other things that may be going on in your life so that you do not have to do this alone. So the first step is acknowledging, taking accountability that we have other issues going on, and that's okay. Everyone does.
Yes, come on, one shoulder. Did y'all see that one shoulder? Okay. So, next question is, how do you identify, how does your identity help you shape the way you move throughout the world?
Absolutely. So going back to exactly what I said, I can only speak as a Black woman, but I'm also a mom and a clinician. So knowing that I have to be aware of my space at all times is really crucial, which again goes back to the first question of why we should come and seek services and be more open about what's going on. I have to not only take care of myself, I have to take care of my kids, my clients, my family. It's just a lot of different roles. So as a Black woman, if I can stand in that and know that, okay, yeah, I need more help, or that, you know, I may need to walk this line because it's what I have to do, because first, before I'm a mom, before I'm a woman, my skin is Black. So I have to realize that this is what people see first, and if I want to make it through, you know, there are some lines that I have to cross, and there's some lines that I have to tiptoe, but I'm willing to do that in order to make this world a better place.
Yes, well, thank you for answering our questions.
All right, everyone, he's back. So, Mr. Michael, tell everyone what you do here one more time, and then I'm going to ask you a few questions.
All right, no problem. So I am Michael Sheppard, the medical case manager. I assist with clients with food, assisting, housing, as well as building their self-esteem up with living with HIV.
Perfect. All right, so let's dive into these questions. So, how do you navigate white privilege as a Black man?
So how I navigate white privilege is I don't see all white male or white females as racism. I see as though if I come in contact with one, then I will briefly educate them and give them my personal experience and what I've been through and what the world is going through. I don't see everyone, every Caucasian person or family, anybody like that. I have family members that are Caucasian, so I feel as though it's not everyone you see around the corner, but you must understand understand where we're coming from and why the Black Lives Matter is happening.
Wonderful. Okay, and do you still see a stigma surrounding HIV in the Black community?
I do still see a stigma. And the reason why I still see it is because we're having an issue with family accepting LGBTQ plus community, as well as our diagnosis as in general, health as in general. We have been taught and trained and also ground rooted in our minds of keeping everything on the hush hush. It's been passed down from our grandmother in the kitchen, and we trying to listen or gossip, listen on to gossip about another family member they're talking about or possibly talking about us. So I think it's a hush hush root that we are dealing with, and I think we need to change that. We have to not change our mind, but change the status and also the education of it.
I would like to add another question because that was perfect. Why should we let our viewers know, like, how will they feel safe here? How can we encourage them to come and encourage that safety will be here when they enter the door?
I would say they can, our African American culture or community can come and feel safe because we have many faces here. We have a behavioral health, we have a dietitian that's African American, we have two medical case managers here that are African Americans, we have a MA that is African American, and we also have a front desk, a check-in assistance front desk. We give them all the names. So I call them my go-to superwomans. We have everyone that you hear, everyone here, you can feel safe. So we want you to come in, get tested. Just come get tested. Come and see me, stop by and see me, say hi, and we'll say hey, we'll take a picture. All right, y'all, so I have my next panelist, Miss Aretha Moore. She's gonna explain to you what she does. What do you do, ma'am?
So I am the medical case manager supervisor here. I manage 2 other employees, which includes additional medical case manager and a non-medical case manager.
All right, great. Well, thank you for joining again. Y'all, if y'all seen the last video, Miss Aretha Moore was the medical case manager, but now she's our supervisor, and I'm taking her position, so yes! So first question, Miss Aretha, do you still see stigma surrounding HIV in Black community? Why or why not?
Absolutely. In the African American community, the African Americans are really afraid of going to the doctor and finding out if they have something. You know, it becomes of a more sheltered thing, and they don't want to put their business out in the street because they're afraid of judgment.
Okay. So, Ms. Aretha, the second question, what are the benefits of social media and online to bring the Black community in to get tested and to seek treatment?
Oh, good question. So I've come from the testing team, which specializes in advertisement for young people to come get tested. Today is National Black HIV Awareness Day, so we're encouraging everybody to come out. It's National Black History Month, and we're promoting this for Black Lives Matter Coalition. Come down to Southwest Center, get tested. The address is 1101 North Central. Anything you can do to share this video, raise awareness, and come down, and we'll be able to help you.
All right, y'all, so we have our next panelist. We have Mr. Robert. Mr. Robert, please tell us what you do here at Southwest Center.
Yes, I am a registered dietitian. So what I do is I help people with HIV figure out any kind of nutritional questions or concerns they might have. So whether you're like, I need to eat more protein or I need more calcium, I'm the person that you talk to and I figure out what you're missing, how to get it. I also can write a prescription for you in our vitamin shop, so if you need a multivitamin, if you need a protein powder, I can get you those things. But I'm also a member of the Black Lives Matter Coalition, and which, as you see, we're making this video for National Black HIV/AIDS Awareness Day, and it also happens to be February, which is Black History Month, so we've got this kind of perfect storm of things going on, and so we're just looking to inform people on what we do here at Southwest Center, and how members of our community can come and be a part of things.
Great, great. First question, for those who do not understand the Black Lives Matter movement, how could you explain why it is important?
Okay, so it's important for a number of reasons. I'll try and keep it short. One, we got to think about, we all know about the civil rights movement. We think it's like back in the 60s, that's when all the things happened, and racism was over and America was perfect. we know that is not the case. I think 2020 has really brought that to the fore, and everyone was like, oh, wow, police brutality, right? Like that was kind of the narrative. But we become more aware of systemic racism, just things happen like legally, and it's not just like a racist person says something racist to you. One thing that's important to remember is Black Lives Matter started in 2013, so we're headed into year 8 of Black Lives Matter, and we're still having to ask for Black Lives to matter. And I think the thing that encapsulates that whole question is that Black Lives Matter is a statement without the "to" on the end, because we're just asking to be included. And I think that's a big point that gets missed in a lot of the discussion about Black Lives Matter. So it's just, yes, we're saying Black Lives Matter, but it's really a movement for us and everybody to be included and safe and happy and to live the life that they want.
Great, yes. All right, so for the second question, how could you help the Black community see the benefits of healing the physical, emotional, social, and spiritual being?
Yes, okay, so we have physical, emotional, social, and spiritual, right?
Yes.
So if you think about that, that's 4 things, right? Now, a lot of times we like to use the metaphor of a table, and you take a leg away from the table, and the table is a little less stable. I don't like that metaphor. I would say it's like a car with 4 tires, right? You might have 1 tire that's flat, so maybe your physical's on point, your social's on point, your spiritual's on point, but your mental's not on point. You can still move, right? But you're not moving as efficiently. And you can have 2 tires that are flat, and you can still drive that car. But when all 4 tires are inflated correctly, then the car moves smoothly, there are less issues, and the point of that metaphor is to tell you that all 4 of those things are connected, right? Like within our being, we can't separate our physical self from our spiritual self, from our mental self, from our social self, because each one informs the other. So to make a long story short, that's why they are connected, and so we need to address each one, and that's why we have me here doing nutrition. That's why we have case management. That's why we have behavioral health. That's the point of this center, is to make sure that we're addressing multiple needs that people have. And we do also have some kind of groups, that work with social, but obviously it's a pandemic right now. So
That's good.
That's
Thank you so much, Robert. I really do appreciate you. Robert is one of our new panelists, so we welcome him. Thank you so much.
Yeah, thank you for having me. And it's a pleasure to help.
All right, y'all, so we have a special guest that is joining in with us. We are so thankful and grateful for him to be a part of the Black Lives Matter roundtable. He's going to speak about everything that he does. He is phenomenal. Listen, I have purchased everything last night on Amazon, okay? I'm in the negative, I'm just saying, okay? Thank God for the stimulus check coming soon, okay? Anyways, but I want to say that he is a HIV and gay civil rights activist. Phenomenal speaking. His YouTube videos are amazing. If you just go YouTube and type in his name, everything will pop up. He also is he has blogs. He has several blogs. I'm just going to list the name of these blogs because these blogs have really kind of touched my heart, where I do want to talk about. But he said some of the blogs are staying on top of your oral health, as well as attacked on Grindr and slut shaming. Oh my God. Okay. How to put on a condom, and as well as the biohazards tattoo and HIV stigma. So everyone, if you could help me welcome Mr. Justin Terry Smith.
Thank you so much for the invite, Michael. I appreciate it. Glad to be here.
Mr. Justin, so my first question. In honor of National Black HIV and AIDS Awareness Day, I would like to ask you about stigma surrounding HIV in the Black community, as well as how do you see us affected by the stigma?
When you talk about HIV, you have to look at the history of HIV in the Black community to understand where we are now. As you know, that that HIV affects disproportionately the African American community in this country, and it is a travesty because one of the things that you have to understand is that we still don't have the access to health resources as we did before in the past. And also, when you talk about HIV treatment, prevention, and awareness, those slogans and campaigns that were first coming about when it came to saying, hey, wrap it up, use a condom, because that was the only means that we knew that prevented HIV. Now we have PrEP, but at that time you have to look at the messaging. A lot of that messaging was geared towards the white population or white gay men. So you really didn't see a lot of, you saw very little, but you saw a lot of those advertisements going towards the white gay population. Then on top of that, you have to understand even before that, it's really hard for the African American community to trust public health doctors, especially because of the past of, like, let's see, the Tuskegee syphilis experiment, in which a group of African American men were purposely infected with syphilis just to see if it made the same effects that it had on the white population that was treated. And so because of that travesty, because of many others, it's really hard for the African American community to trust public health doctors. So, nonprofits came into play to be able to have us see us, I guess you could say, in the realm of putting together HIV care and prevention and education. And also, a lot of African Americans thought that this only affected the white gay population, period. And then on top of that, when you have the whole stigma of being gay is a sin and an abomination, and you're constantly getting that because, back in the day, where a lot of African Americans went during the years of slavery, we went to the church to feel whole again. That is where our release came from. So, being a part of a church has a lot to do with being in the African American culture. So when that church turns around and says that you're bad for being gay, you're going to hell, this is an abomination, it's hurtful. And so when you deny being gay on top of being the demographic that is directly affected by HIV, then you deny HIV, then your demographic, or that demographic within that demographic, is going to be affected probably the most when it comes to having an infection enter that population. So, yeah, that's where we are right now, and there is a lot of work to be done. There's a lot of work that continues that needs to be done. Like, let's take COVID for instance. We've learned that the African American community is being widely affected, and also not getting their vaccines as much as any other population, and Latinos as well. So it's not just HIV, it's just about any public health issue that we're having in this country.
All right, thank you so much, Mr. Justin, for sharing your thoughts. Yes, lots more to do. My next question for you, I also, how do you feel about combating the racism? How do you see us best doing this? This is a three-part question, so I'm gonna ask you all three. So what would you tell a white person who wants to help combat racism, as well as to add on to that, where do they start?
Combating racism is a very hard thing to look at when it comes to this, because what has to happen is not only does the population itself have to understand that this HIV affects us as well as any other population, but also we have to have the help of nonprofits, especially because we have to see we have to see our demographic helping our demographic. There has to be funding for that kind of nonprofit as well, and the funding is lacking. So when it comes to that, it's really a double-edged sword. We have to have these nonprofits that represent us, but also there's a lack of funding with the nonprofits that represent us, because there's lots of grants that don't go towards those organizations that need it. So it's really, really hard to combat that. I would definitely tell a white person that really wants to combat racism if you're going to talk the talk, walk the walk. Basically, yes, it's great to have a sounding board like Facebook and like Twitter and Instagram and things like that. It's great, and TikTok. It's great to have those things, those social media outlets to voice your opinion. But, I've been out there marching. I've been out there marching with people that are white, that are Latino, that are Asian, that believe in the Black Lives Matter movement, and I've protested with them. Now, I honestly understand that social media right now is very strong in helping to create social change. But that isn't enough. Just saying, I believe in the Black Lives Matter movement and putting a black square on your profile picture is not enough. We need your support, meaning, put your money where your mouth is. I do. Because I believe in the movements that better my demographic and my populations. I'm a black, gay, Jewish man. So, I belong to several demographics that are marginalized, and I believe in fighting for those rights and marching and giving money to organizations that are helping to turn the tables on what we see as, of course, divisive organizations or divisive people in general. So I think that what we need to do is, like I said again, if you're going to talk the talk, then you need to walk the walk.
Right. So you've been accomplishing so much. Tell us about your latest book, just launching in January. And what else do you have going on?
Thank you for saying that I've been accomplishing so much. Sometimes I don't think that I have. I think that there's always more to do. The books that I have, that I came out with, just in time, a compilation of public health articles, that was something that I wrote because it was over time where I decided that I would have an HIV and STI column for a magazine, and they said, "Oh, we don't have this. This is great that you are doing this." So I took all those articles and put it in one book and said, this will help my community in some way, shape, or form, or at least even be in the archives for what people there's going to be a cure for HIV one day. I solely believe that. So this book will kind of be an archival thing where, wow, these are actual questions from this actual time, and long after I'm dead. The book is one of the things I'm most proud of. I appreciate it, that you are letting me expound upon it and celebrate it. I also came out with another book called Pre-Exposure Prophylaxis, which is basically my dissertation. I have a doctorate in public health, and the book serves as a knowledge base for people that want to know certain influences, why men who have sex with men go on PrEP, or is there an issue with employment status or education level or access to healthcare resources or number of sexual partners. Those 4 factors are looked at in this book as to see if those 4 factors are factors indeed of why why men who have sex with men might want to go on PrEP. And what we found is basically, it was kind of funny when PrEP first came out. People said, "Oh, this is an excuse for people to have sex with everybody and just to be so free." We found that number of sexual partners is not a factor. So whether a person has sex with one person a month or whether they have sex with 100 people a month, it is not a factor. A lot of those things are not factors, but to read my book would be to find out. So to find those things, to find my 2 books, you have to go on Amazon.com and type in Justin Terry Smith, and you will definitely find them. Or you can go to my website, www.justinterrysmith.com, and it'll show you the projects that I have and also the books that I came out with. Also, I'm shooting a movie in March. I'm actually flying to Las Vegas. I am slated to get my vaccine, so hopefully that'll come through soon. But I will be in Vegas shooting a film called Revenge of the Zombies, in which I play the character Dylan. And also I'm shooting another film, hopefully in June. It's in LA, so we'll see if I'm actually going to be able to get out in LA, see what the status of COVID is, and if I have my vaccine by then. The movie's called Staycation. So I'm super duper excited because it's kind of funny. A lot of people, when COVID hit, we had to stay at home. We couldn't go out. And a lot of people decided that, oh gosh, this is just going to be the end all say all. I decided that I would, again, try to trying to travel a journey that I hadn't traveled in a long time. I used to act in elementary school and in middle school, and I stopped because, I had parental units saying that, this is probably a more steadier pace for you to go into, not acting. You never know when your next paycheck's coming through. So I decided to start acting. So that's what I started to do during COVID. And I shot my first web series, Cerebral. I'm an executive producer of that, and I do very small acting part of that. But it's on YouTube as well. So yeah, things have been going really well for me, and I really do love that you brought me on here to talk about this. This is amazing, and Black HIV and AIDS Awareness Day is definitely something that we need to observe, and because HIV and AIDS has affected our community in such a deep way and throughout the years, it's something that needs to be definitely observed every single year. And it's kind of funny. I find it almost appalling. I had someone who I have as a mentor. I had as a mentor say to me, you'll never know what it means to lose your family or friends every single week, going to funerals I'm like, I know, and he's like, you say you're struggling with this and blah 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 blah. I can only speak on my experiences, and I can say that I will never know that, because when that was happening, I was too young to even know what AIDS was. AIDS is the same age as me. It's like 40 years after the first diagnosis. It's the same age. I'm 41, and I can't say that I was there, because I wasn't. But he says, well, now it's gotten a lot better. I said, yeah, it has, but there are certain demographics that are being affected and infected by HIV right now that some demographics are not. So when I grew up, I had a group of friends, and I call it growing up gay. And when I grew up gay, I had 1, 2, 3, 4 friends of mine that we all hung out. We always went to the club together. We did everything together. They were all from DC, and I was from this suburb called Silver Spring. And I didn't really know anything about city life. I was not street smart whatsoever, and they kind of helped me. 2 of them aren't here anymore because of AIDS and AIDS denial. They're gone. They're dead. One of them doesn't even have a grave. He doesn't have a gravestone. So, when you visit him, he just has a thing that sticks out of the ground. So, I want to say, Michael, to your viewers, it's still here. It's still here. And I've been positive since 2005. And the fight isn't over.
So y'all, guess what? This is not a Gucci or Coach bag, okay? However, this is the Black Lives Matter bag. So, what we did, and we hooked y'all up, okay? We have lubrication, okay? We also have the medication pill, little box, little dispenser, not dispensary, it turns too, look at that. I know that's right. We also have, listen, we have a whole box of we have condoms in here. It's Magnums. These are not cheap, okay? Trojan, okay? They're not cheap. We also have variety. We have the tattoos one. We have lubrication. We have more lubrication. Listen, the tattoo one is amazing. Okay? I'm just saying. I haven't experienced it myself, but I just saying. Okay? Catch the tea. Anyways, so yes, that's that. And we also have the FC2. These are for our females and okay, anymore. But yes, they work. Catch the tea. All right, so thank y'all so much. Y'all are more welcome to stop by Southwest Center and request a bag, or you are able to contact us by nicepackage.org, as well as our just contacting Nice Package, or go to our website, nicepackageaz.org. All right, thank you so much. All right, everyone, this is our wrap-up time. Thank you so much. We do appreciate everyone tuning in, watching our video. Please like and share as many as y'all can. We have so many in this world on Facebook. Please just like and share, okay? I know you're on your Facebook at 6 o'clock, so like and share, okay? Just do it, okay? Just do it for me. So we definitely want to thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you. We would like to hear from you soon. We would like to see you soon. I expect to see you soon, and I expect to hear from you. Thank you.